Hey guys, this week on Jeff's House I'm going to turn this room into a wardrobe. Alright, so for my wardrobe I took the easy way out and I made a big order at IKEA, and we have all these boxes behind me. They got delivered today, so it's time to start flat pack assembly. We have 4 of our carcasses in. The depth of this room is roughly 2.5 meters. So there's 2 1 meter carcasses, and I've got another 50 centimeter carcass to go in here. The issue I now have is it's a bit less than 50 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip down the other wardrobe I've got sitting right there. I'm going to disassemble it and rip down half of it and reassemble it so it fits into my space, and we'll see how it goes. To rip them down, what I've got is I've got my circular saw, and I want to take 35mm off of the end of these boards. That's how much room I've got there. So I've set my stopper on my circular saw to 35mm. I'm just going to rip down the sides of all of the horizontal bits, of the cupboard. Then I have to work out how I reattach it. Now that I've ripped everything down, and I'm going to go through and re-drill all of those holes all the way through to the outside. I don't see the outside of the cupboard in this, so it's not a problem. So I'll re-drill it through. I can then sit this on top, go through and drill everything in, and put some chipboard screws in to hold it all together, and I've successfully narrowed my cupboard. Now I have my corner cupboards all made up and placed into the space. I now need to go through and join all these cupboards together, and I also need to mount them to the wall. Now they came with these brackets in here that are mounted up to this side, because this back is just a thin flimsy panel to screw into the wall. The thing is that they're not spaced where the studs are, so if I screw them in there, they're more than likely just going to screw in a gyprock, and it's not actually going to be supportive. So I'm going to take them off and I'm going to screw them into the top, and using my stud finder I'll line them up with the stud, so that way I can actually have them fixed to the wall and they won't topple over onto us when we're climbing up trying to get something off the top. Alright, the carcasses are all together, so it's time to start putting the internals in. Alright, and that is all the carcasses are basically in. I am still waiting on the shelves that sit up the top, up here, above the hanging rails, because they're out of stock, so they've got to wait for them to come back in. But everything is all in, all the drawers, and I'm really stoked with these things down the bottom, the shoe racks that I've put all the way around the bottom. Only thing I am annoyed about is over on this side, one of these divider things was broken in the packet, so I'm going to have to go back and source that. And also one of the shelves, it didn't come with all the screws. It had everything, but it didn't have the little bag of screws, so have to play around with that. Apologise for my my voice. I've got this terrible head cold I've had for the last few days, but I'm still sort of working through it. As I showed you last time, I've got everything I can do on the wardrobes done, except for the parts that are damaged or whatever. I contacted IKEA. They were great. I contacted them and there were no problems. They're handing them out to me, so that's great. Oh, and also for those of you who've been asking, you can see here actually in the reflection, you can see the camera setup I'm using. Well, I've got a Canon 70D with a Rode mic on it, for those of you who are really interested in that sort of stuff. But anyway, I realised I've got this beautiful wardrobe ready to go. I'm really happy. I'm really looking forward to having a walk-in wardrobe, which I've never really had a proper walk-in wardrobe before. Then I saw this mirror that I got, and I found a little issue. You see, if I put this mirror as where it's going to be against this wall, it'll be a bit higher, but I can't open the drawers past it. That is a rookie error. So even though the mirror is going to be higher, it's going to block at least this top drawer, if not others. I have to work out where I'm going to put the mirror. So I have come up with a solution. Hopefully it is not going to be too much of a pain in the backside, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tall hanging spaces, which are these two cabinets right at the back here. I'm going to have to unscrew all of these from the wall, pull them out, move them to this end, and hopefully I can slide these cabinets down without taking everything out of them. The floor is nice and slick, so they should slide reasonably easy. They should slide reasonably easily, I hope, and swap it around, and hopefully everything works. Alright, everything is flipped around. The wardrobes are back in place after a lot of stuffing around, but actually it wasn't as bad as I thought because I could slide them and just switch things around. Now I'm going to mount this mirror. Now you might have seen I just sat the mirror up, got it roughly where I wanted to, marked where the top of the mirror is going to go. The easiest way I found to mount these things is to mark the top of the mirror and then go to where the hooks are on the back. Mark the distance from the top to the mounting hook, level it up, mark that down, and have your mounting hook heights on both sides, and then that's where you put your hangers, and that way you get your mirror mounted exactly where you want it, perfectly square and straight, in theory anyway, so let's do that. I've measured up where my hooks are, and I've marked my spots on the wall where I want my hooks to hang. I weighed the mirror, and the mirror weighs 16 kilos, and I'm just hanging it straight into the gyprock. So I went to get specific hooks, and these particular hooks screw into the wall, but they screw into the wall, and then there's like a T-bar piece inside that flips around and then clamps against the back of the wall, and they're rated for 20 kilos each. So I've got two of them, so there should be more than enough to hold my mirrors up. Okay, my next little challenge is I've got the coat rail for my cupboards that I cut down. So I'm going to take the same 30 and 35 mil that I took off of the cupboards, I'm going to take that off of these, so they should just go in, I hope.
This ain't
Okay, so the wardrobe is pretty much done, so that means it's time to get back into the bathroom. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to fit up this toilet, and to get the toilet connected, I need to shut the water off so I can fit this tap on. So let's go and turn the water off and get these installed. Now I've got my tap installed, I'm going back over and I'm looking at the cistern on the top of the toilet. For starters, the outlet on this one is actually on the wrong side, but it's just a matter of undoing one side, swapping the plug over to this side, and just swapping it over so that it'll be on the right side for this. Relatively straightforward. Alright, I've got it all mounted up now, and I have used the level on it, leveled it up, and I've put a shim under this front corner. And to mount them down, it's actually so much easier now than it used to be. In the old days you would concrete them in or whatever. Now they just recommend just silicon them down, so yeah. Alright, I stupidly stuffed up when I put this stopcock in. It's actually a washing machine type one, so it won't actually fit my flex hose to connect up the toilet. So that was a rookie error. So I've got the right stopcock now, so now I'm going to take it off, swap them over, and then hopefully we can get this toilet connected up. Okay, so this ensuite is basically finished except for the wooden trim, and I'm just waiting on the shower screens. We have a working flushing toilet. We have the vanity has to be put in permanently later once the shower screens are in. So that's all I've got time for this week. Hopefully next episode will be a wrap up of the entire extension finished. Yes, finally! Alright guys, see you next time.